You're taken aback by the man's fierce gaze glaring at you through the veil of raven-colored hair. Don't call anyone. I'm fine. He's... Oh, God. I know. Don't say it. I'm thinking it. Don't say it. He's cute, though. He is cute. This game demo is intended for 18 plus adults only. This demo contains sexual content, eye strain, slight torture, death, mild screen shakes, graphic violence. The full game will add trigger warnings later on. Welcome to you and him. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and if not, I hope this makes your day a little bit better. I'm Voyia. I play a variety. I bit my tongue when I said variety. I play a variety of games, and if you ever want me to play something, please do not hesitate to ask me to play absolutely anything. Or if you just want to sit back and enjoy the games that I pick, welcome. You are all welcome to the family. I'm so excited. Let's get started. I don't know anything. Oh God, that was loud. I hope I don't have to turn it down or anything. There's some music picking up. Sorry, I was listening for the music. Oh, and please subscribe, follow, and say hi in the comment section. I talk back, just so you know. You. All right, let's get settled in. Middle of nowhere, 3:32. Oh my God, PM. Can we relax on the? I gotta turn the sound down. In other news, the hit boy band Cake will be playing live tomorrow night at the Santana Alley Stadium in the Park Bend, Arizona. According to the sources, concert tickets sold out within seconds of their initial online release date, despite the fact that a massive influx of their users caused the website itself to crash. I would never understand why people do this to themselves. Luckily, they managed to get the site back up and running again, but many people were upset since they were forced to log back in and miss out on buying tickets because of this. Thousands took to Twitter. Really? We're going to say Twitter. We know what they're talking about. It's not even called Twitter anymore. It's called X. Thousands took to Twitter to vent their frustrations, while others made light of the situation by making and sharing memes. Many of these posts went viral and got Santana Alley Stadium trending for 3 days straight on Twitter itself. The DJ lets out a huff of breath. I can't believe what I'm seeing in these reports. Can you, Kenny? The car radio crackles and a new voice joined in on the conversation, his tone coming across as both jovial and borderline childish. Oh God, I'm trying to make a good one. Not in the slightest. I'm just as stunned as you are. It's fascinating to see these young men who started from modest backgrounds rise to take the world by storm. I don't think I've seen boy bands craze this bad since the 90s and early 2010s, but I don't think those even compare to what we're seeing today. Don't you agree, Bob? Bob, the first radio DJ who spoke, let out a giant guffaw. Ooh boy, that is an understatement. Even my husband adores the latest hit single, The Way You Make Me Sway, which is saying something. I thought your husband hated modern day music. My point exactly. If they can make my husband love their sound, then you know they've got something special that old men like him and I can even ignore. Oh my God. Listen, I still listen to K-pop too. I just don't listen to it as often, but there are certain K-pop songs that catch my attention. Tell me your favorite K-pop band or J-pop band, or just tell me what band you're liking all together. When I start playing Cake's latest single, you turn down the dial on the radio, choosing instead to focus on the long stretch road before you. The blistering heat already makes it hard to concentrate, and you don't need added distractions, especially considering that you've driven almost 320 miles thanks to your aunt pleased to gather up all your uncle's valuables and drop them off at his new apartment in the next 6 towns over, and are now on the return drive home to send guns. Okay. So you just got roped into doing something for a family member you probably don't even like. Bet. You tried turning her down, but your mom called and forced you to agree. Something about being a good relative and mentioning the past actions where your aunt almost didn't treat you like dirt, and yada yada yada. At that point, you just wanted to hang up and go back to your hermit crab lifestyle. So you agreed and took an obscene amount of guns from your aunt to give to your uncle. Due to the terms and conditions of their divorce, the judge ruled that since your aunt got the ownership of the house, your aunt needed to fork over all her collections of guns and hand them over to your uncle. Getting the aforementioned guns out of her house was a nightmare. The woman kept screaming every time I loaded the guns into the car. I had to restrain her when she kept trying to lunge for my trunk, saying that it wouldn't know if one or two were missing. When you refused to budge on the matter, she became inconsolable and ran inside the house, shutting herself into the bathroom for a solid 20 minutes before you needed to leave. When she returned, her demeanor returned to normal. Well, at least for her. Relatives are weird, man. Speaking of weird, how long was this stretch of road again? You could have sworn it was a heck of a lot shorter the first go around. Ugh, not to mention, you need to pee. You regret not stopping at the gas station 50 miles back, actively choosing to ignore the huge warning sign that said, next gas station in 100 miles. So if you're new here, you may not know this, but my family used to travel a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean, woo, my goodness. I mean, I think it would be easier for me to name a state that I haven't lived in. And that would make this story shorter. So yeah, my family traveled a lot. I hated the go to the bathroom now or you're not going at all, because I swear that my bladder is the size of a pea, and like a pea in a pod. Haha, we're not gonna laugh, we're not gonna be childish, but anyways, it is so tiny that like I'll be like, oh, I don't need to pee. 2 minutes later, I feel the urge, like, oh, I can't hold it, and I'm a girl, so I can't hold it. So if I like literally don't try to go to the bathroom right then and there, I'm gonna be up poop creek. So yeah, I hate traveling, like especially roadway. I've never traveled on airplane. I might try that more. Maybe I'd like traveling a lot more, but I do not like traveling on the road at all. A terrible decision considering the current state of your bladder. You mulled over the lack of options when something in the distance catches your attention. As the car eats up the distance between you, you make a shape of a large, lumbering figure walking along the side of the road with their thumb jutted out and raised above their head. Oh, it's a hitchhiker. Huh? I'm sure some of y'all that's lower than age. Sorry, I was trying to stop coughing. I'm sure y'all lower in age, y'all don't know what a hitchhiker is, but it's when those people that stand out on the road and throw that thumb up. Yeah, people be doing that and expecting you to pull over. I'm not pulling over for anybody. I'm too paranoid. What's a hitchhiker doing all the way out here? Your bladder quakes. Never mind. You don't have time for this. Not to mention the fact that your mother always warned you about shady hitchhikers. Letting this man into your car reeks of future trouble. Best to avoid a situation like that altogether. When you pulled right up behind him, you noticed a distinct limp in his walk and blood blooming out from his pants leg. Oh no. Seeing his injury caused guilt to settle in. He's clearly hurt and needs help, and there's no one else around but you. You wrestle with your options, and you suddenly collapse into a heap on the side of the road. Shite! There goes your self-preservation. You park just a ways ahead of him and launch out your driver's seat, praying to God that you don't believe in, that he's okay. Okay, so we get it. Relax. When you reach him, you fall to your knees and gently nudge his shoulder, only to gather no response. Come on, please be okay. You lean down and press your head against his chest. You feel it rise and fall and the sound of a faint heartbeat. Good, he's still breathing. You sit back up and try gently shaking his shoulder again. Sir? Sir, can you hear me? He's also conscious. Another good sign. Don't worry, sir. I'm going to call for help, okay? You pull out your cell phone, ready to dial the emergency helpline, when a hand latches onto your wrist in a vice-like grip, and the man beneath you adjusts himself into a sitting position. You're taken aback by the man's fierce gaze glaring at you through the veil of raven-colored hair. Don't call anyone. I'm fine. He's... Oh, God. I know. Don't say it. I'm thinking it. Don't say it. He's cute, though. He is cute. Oh, man. Yes, but... Nails dig into your forearm, not to draw blood, but enough to warn you he means business. I said I'm fine. Listen to the sexy man. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing at all. This is for the content, okay? You lower your phone, exiting out of the phone app without a second glance at the screen. All right, but at least let me take a look at your leg. He visibly relaxed at your complaint nature and nods, leaning back so you can roll up his pants leg and examine the damage lying underneath. Blood coats the wound on his leg. You can't even see the extent of his injury when there's so much. You need to clean it off. Wait right here. You head for your car and locate a box cutter knife hidden underneath the driver's seat. Cutting off the bottom half of your t-shirt, you grab the once cold but not warm water bottle that you brought with you for your mini road trip and use it to soak the stray piece of fabric. You toss your box cutter back into the driver's seat before returning to the hitchhiker. The hitchhiker looks up upon hearing your approaching footsteps. You watch as his eyes widen into equivalent of large saucers, his lips slightly parting into surprise as his gaze zeroes in on the new patch of exposed skin. Oh, he must be talking about her tummy. He studied the shape of your body, tracing over each and every part of you with his eyes. You grow flustered at the attention, but you also don't hate it. It's nice in a way. You're a little disappointed when he averts his gaze, wondering if you misinterpreted the situation, until he bites at his bottom lip as if he's done something naughty. Let me find out that this is not a stalking game or something, or a creepy game. I don't know what this is yet, but you saw the knife in the apple in the beginning. We know. Your heart flutters at the implications. His reaction's kind of cute. You lower yourself to his level and try to ignore the blush spreading across your own cheeks. He's really attractive, a fact that you could not help but notice when you rushed to his side and saw the intense expression, like an arrow striking through your helpless little heart. But that's not the only thing that garnered your attention. This hitchhiker is Adam, the lead singer from Cake. Oh, okay, so what a lovely love story, I guess, to start off. Like, oh my God, I'm sure there are 1,000 like hardcore dying K-pop or band or boy band or whatever. I say K-pop and J-pop and stuff because those are the ones that people really be like freaking out over and stuff. But I mean, back in the 90s, like people said, people was like freaking out over the Backstreet Boys and stuff. And again, I was probably a little too young to care about stuff like that. I would only watch anime and stuff. And so, yeah, that wasn't me. But nonetheless, like I said, it's probably like right now, like I always hear people talk about, you know, those type of bands and stuff, but I know there is a girl out there that is just like dying for this to happen to them, to find their favorite boy band, BTS, that one, yeah, to find a BTS band member somewhere stranded on the street and they gotta help them cure their wound. Oh God, a love story waiting to happen. What's he doing all the way out here in the middle of nowhere? So, I couldn't help but notice this, but you're Adam, right? The hitchhiker hesitates before nodding. Okay, so I don't mean to sound rude, but what are you doing all the way out here? Asking strangers for rides? Adam rubs the back of his head, almost sheepish in its answer. I accidentally drove my car into a ditch a few miles back, and I forgot my phone at the studio, so I couldn't really reach out and call anyone. Figured on the off chance that someone drove by, I could bum a ride. He smiles then. Guess I got lucky you showed up when you did. You're a lifesaver. You're almost blinded by that smile. That's how they get you. They're gonna get you with that smile. Or maybe my character's the bad guy in here. Oh, I can't wait to finish reading this. No wonder the fangirls go crazy. Urging your pounding heart to calm down, you try concentrating on the conversation at hand and get started on cleaning his leg. You need to focus. Oh, was the crash how you got hurt? Adam shakes his head. Cut my thigh open while hiking with a friend a couple of weeks ago. One of the tree branches was a little too sharp and gave me the souvenir. The doctor stitched me up, but I guess it tore it back open since I started walking. Oh, poor thing. He chuckles to himself. I didn't notice it, if you could believe it. You're surprised to hear this considering that you got a performance going on later tonight. Surely he should let it heal before going back on stage. Well, hopefully when you drive back to town, we can get you a doctor and get it taken care of. Sorry I can't do anything else in the meantime. Don't worry, you've been a big help. You flush out his praise, the soothness of his voice and the way he says that makes you feel things you haven't felt in a long time, in places you haven't felt them in a long time. Please don't show nothing naughty. We can talk about naughty stuff, we can't show naughty stuff. You attempt to focus on the task at hand, wiping away the thick, congealed blood, but it's hard to concentrate when all you can think about is the fact that your hands are near his thigh and, oh gosh, you're turning beet red from the thought alone. Nibbling at your bottom lip, you peer up at him and find his gaze locked onto your hands with blistering intensity. You can't tell if he wants to rip your hands off his leg or to guide them towards other more intimate places. The heat warming your body desires the latter. Something wrong? His gaze suddenly flicks upwards and you jump, flustered that he caught you staring. Nothing, just a little dazed is all. Probably because of the heat. Oh yeah, I forgot they said it's hot. It's cold right now where I am, so like it throws me off when she was saying the heat thing. I was gonna say, what is she talking about? Is it hot? Is she hot? Like it's actually hot, or is she hot because she's being bad? You duck your head and redirect your attention downwards, ignoring the horny little devil inside of you. Since you're back on track, you didn't notice this before, but the blood on his leg is a bit weird. It chips and peels away like dried paint instead of smearing. Uh-oh, that's not a good thing. What the? Oh, God! Oh, that sound scared me. The man withdraws a small silver knife tucked into his waistband of his jeans and lunges at you. You don't even have a spare moment to react before he drives the weapon into your chest. Confusion and terror battles in your mind. Adrenaline pumps through your veins as you try to fight him off. You scratch at his chest, face, anywhere you can dig your nails into, but he scoffs and pins your arms down with his knees. Oh no, poor thing. You watch in horror as he plunges the knife into your exposed chest again and again. Oh my goodness. You don't even have time to ask why as the world goes dark. Bad in one, too promiscuous. So at least we know that he is the bad guy. We're going to go back in and possibly try to get another ending, but I'm going to have to keep these kind of short and simple. They're not going to be too long and stuff because I've been dealing with a lot of computer issues. I know you guys can tell in some of my recordings, and I've also been dealing with a lot of Xbox issues. So I'm giving it my best, y'all, and I'm trying to record these as best I can. But right now I don't have a desktop and I'm trying. So I got to keep these short though. I'll just make playlists, you guys know. Okay, we're back at here right now where it says to listen to the sexy man or call anyway and ignore and stand your ground. We're going to stand our ground. We're going to stand 10 toes down on the floor and call the police. So let's get to it. He's insane if he thinks you're going to just let the whole thing slide. He's clearly injured and definitely needs dressing for that wound on his leg. You yank your arm out of his grasp and press the phone on your ear before standing up, turning your back to the man as you glare, I wouldn't do that, at the sun beating down on you. Could it be any hotter? An operator picks up. Hello, what's your She's cut off mid-sentence when a hitchhiker plucks your phone out of your hand and drops it onto the ground. He crushes the device underneath a scuffed boot, hands in his pockets, looking almost bored as he does so. Oh my God. He's cute, but he's mean. Once he's done destroying the phone that you worked 3 years in customer service to pay off, he runs his hand through his hair and reveals an all too familiar smile. Oh God. Oh, he's so cute though. Mantle Adam on his journey from singing in a small town church choir, becoming the lead singer of Cake. Get his look, spring edition. Okay. He's so cute. Oh, why does he have to be a murderer? You recognize those features that span across the multiple blogs on the internet stratosphere, from the gleaming white teeth, which were perfect for advertisement for the 10 toothpaste commercials he sponsored, to the scar on his eyebrow that fangirls obsess over. The lead singer of Cake, Adam. You open your mouth to comment, wondering how a man like him ended up here, when he rushes forward and plunges something into your shoulder. You're caught off guard, his momentum pushing you backwards, and your head cracks painfully against the asphalt. The man stands over you for a moment as he wipes the blood off the knife by using his shirt as a makeshift handkerchief. He smiles cruelly as he crawls over your collapsed body with a predatory gleam in his eye, thighs boxing in your hips, trapping you underneath him as his hand pins your wrist over your head. See, this is why, look, in visual novels, it's okay to sit here and gawk and stare at the cute guy, but never, I bet not catch my family. Y'all, I bet not catch y'all out there doing bad stuff. You men too, because you men will see a cute little girl with the chi-chis out and the booty and the thighs and stuff, and you go take off drooling and put her in your car, and then next thing you know, you're shot and killed and murdered and getting your body parts sold. So let's not do that, okay? Let's all stay to ourselves. Mind our business, mind the business that pays you, and stay to yourself. Don't pick up hitchhikers, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Even if it turns out good, don't ever do it. You watch as he reaches into his back pocket to reveal a phone of his own and taps something on the screen, and all of a sudden, you're blinded by light. You try blinking the stars out of your eyes, confused by what just occurred. Shoot, I left the flash on. Sorry about that. This son of a bee. You kick your legs and buck your hips in a violent effort to toss him off your body, throwing your weight around in hopes that it'll catch him off balance, but he doesn't seem to be fazed in the slightest. You give up after exhausting yourself. Dang it all. Once you've settled, Adam taps his phone screen again, and this time there's no blinding light. He stares at the picture he just took for a moment, nod to himself, then shoves his phone into his back pocket, satisfied by whatever he sees. See why you don't pick up hitchhikers? If Voyia teaches you anything, don't pick up hitchhikers. Don't do it. You've got a pretty photogenic face. The picture will print great, don't you think? You tried spitting in his face, but it misses by a landslide. Aw, that wasn't very nice. Nice went out the window when you stabbed me. Maybe it wouldn't have stabbed you if you listened to me and hung up the phone. Yeah, right. You get a distinct feeling that he's lying through his teeth. You don't peg him as the honest type, considering he probably got a bunch of skeletons in his closet if he's attacking strangers for shites and giggles. What do you want my photo for? Scrapbooking? His face darkens at your retort. I don't think it's a good idea to anger him. How is that any of your business? Surely he's joking. You look at his tense expression. Nope, he's 100% serious, but at least he's not cutting you open like a slab of meat. If you can keep him talking, maybe you'll find a way to get out of this mess. A Christmas present for your dear old mom and dad, then. Don't talk about my mother. Oh, does he have mommy issues? No, maybe he has daddy issues. Better yet, maybe both. What about your dad? Can we talk about him? Adam considers for a moment. obviously confused by your cavalier attitude despite the current situation, but he's curious enough to see where this leads. What do you want to know about him? Does he snore like a boar? Did he play catch with you as a kid? Does he barbecue and watch football on Sundays? Does he make corny dad jokes? What does he do for a living? To answer your question in order, no, no, yes, no. And he's a preacher for my hometown church back in Tennessee. A fan of the big guy in the sky, huh? I'm guessing you went to church a lot as a kid. Adam considers you for a moment. So that's your angle. I'm sorry? Oh, God! Oh, my God, the stabbing noise keeps scaring me. You gasp at the nails digging into your wounded shoulder. Tears prick up in the corner of your eyes, threatening to spill over, and you have to bite your lip to keep them in place. No way will you let this man get the self-satisfaction of seeing you cry. You want to keep me talking until you can think of an escape plan, is that it? Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but that won't happen. We're alone, I'm armed with a knife, and this highway is almost always deserted. Very few cars drive along this highway, and the only reason people tend to travel here is for nefarious means or they're out of sheer desperation. But it's almost always the latter. I would know. I scoped out this place ahead of time. He gives you a sadistic grin. But you know what? Why not? I'll play this game for a little while longer. It could be fun after all, giving you that small sliver of hope that someone might pass by and rescue you from your fate. Speaking of fate, let's talk about something related to that. Destiny itself. Don't worry, I promise. It'll circle back to my father. Now, let's see. He pauses for a moment to gather his thoughts before he begins talking again. My dad. You know, it's funny. Despite being a religious and believing in the power of free will, my father always thinks that destiny plays a big role in our everyday lives. He always says that while some things are in our control, other things are milestones made by God to teach us pivotal life lessons, plans far in advance. A test of sorts, you could say. Oh, God. He digs his nails deeper into your wound, and you bite your lip so hard it bleeds. Tell me something. Do you believe in destiny? Oh, God. So I actually do. In reality, I believe in destiny, but it says yes is a lie. Let's go yes. Maybe he won't know it's a lie. You lie thinking your answer will appease him. Yes. The corner of his lips kick upward. For a moment, you think you answered the question correctly. That is, until he withdraws the knife again. Adam leans close, lips brushing against your earlobe in a low, seductive voice. You're lying. He shifts back in his kneeling position and drags the knife along your neck in one swift, practiced movement. Blood spills down your chest, soaked up by the ground underneath you. Your body convulses, fighting for survival, legs kicking out in a frantic effort to stave off the sudden lack of oxygen. But there's so much blood, and the man sitting on top of you watches with some sort of sick fascination while your life slips away by the second. There's not an ounce of regret reflecting in those eyes of his. The only person who can save you now is yourself. You try to lift your arms up to press your palm against the wound, but you're so weak that he's able to easily pin your arms at your side and tuts like a teacher disappointed in your rebellious student for acting out against their wishes. Now, there's no use in fighting the inevitable. Just let it happen. He lets go of your wrist, and you have no choice but to obey. You don't have the strength for another attempt. You watch in resigned terror as the edges of your vision turn dark, like the edges of a letter being burned and leaving nothing but the black ash in their wake. You whimper in fear, and he shushes you, pressing his finger to your lips. It's okay. This is a natural part of the process. It'll be over soon. And besides, there's a place for liars such as yourself in the afterlife, at least according to my father. I can't speak for whether or not it's true, but hey, look at it this way. At least you'll fit right in. Bad ending 2, liar, liar. Okay, you guys, I think that I have gone on far too long now. Thank you guys so much. There's going to be a part 2. I'm sure those are not all the endings. I'm going to choose the other stuff just so we can get it all out the way. I don't know how many endings it is. It doesn't specify when you go on the website how many endings there are, but you can go and click on the link in the description below and check out the game yourself. You might enjoy it. And sorry for the short, gameplays. I try my hardest to not so much make them short. Like I try to get them at least an hour, but I'm so scared that something's gonna go wrong. I've already had 2 videos corrupt. I was trying to do 14 days with you part 2, and they got corrupted. Or not corrupted, but they were like so jacked up. I couldn't let you guys go through that. I tried to salvage as much as I possibly could, but I ended up having to just say no and delete it. But thank you guys so much who are vibing with me. And again, as the channel grows, maybe I'll be able to buy a desktop and do better things. Peace and love. Bye.